What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in or for tuning back in. Today, I thought I would share a little bit of my Sims gameplay of a build that I've been working on. I have completed it as of right now for the most part. This cabin in the woods is loosely based off the show The Yellow Jackets. I'm a huge fan of that show. If you're not familiar with the show, it is a psychological drama about a high school girls soccer team that crashes into the wilderness, forcing themselves to fight for survival. And as they're out there and spend X amount of time out there, they experience a lot of interesting and possibly supernatural things and things they have to resort to doing that they wouldn't do had they not crashed out into the wilderness. And it's a very interesting show if you haven't checked it out. With that being said, I thought I would just give you a little sneak peek into this. I'm not going to get into any gameplay today, but I will be back with some gameplay. So I tried to create it as much as I can to look like the cabin on the show, of course, but in the Sims fashion. And I did give a nod to the plane crash over here. I put the little plane over here in what we'll call the weeds, the woods. If you're familiar with the show, you know the plane scene. So I give a nod to that plane. And then to give a nod to their plane that crashed, here's just like a broken off piece of plane particle. And also, they do not have an indoor working bathroom. So I did put a bathroom bush out here for them to use to kind of make it more realistic like the show. And the characters that I have, I unfortunately wasn't able to be able to place all the main characters into this cabin. Just because it's The Sims and this is on PS5, so I'm not able to create any mods to modify that and have all the cast in here. So I put the main ones, although I really would have liked to have the coach in here. I wasn't able to get him in here. But we'll start out with Van. Let me find her. This is our character Van. And I cannot take credit for these characters because, oh boy, sorry for the views here. I cannot take credit for these characters because I did upload them from the gallery. But I did put my own little twist onto the way that I wanted them to look. So I did change up some things. I'm not sure if I changed it up on all of them, but I do know that I did change it up on some of them. But I like how they have this scar here on Van's face. If you're familiar with the show, then you'll know why that scar's there. I don't want to give any spoilers. This is Jackie, Thaisa, Lottie, our famous Lottie, and our, oh boy, famous Shauna here, whom is currently pregnant, spoiler alert. And also we have Travis over here, who seems to be a little scared because I did make the slot haunted. Because as of the show, oh, we cannot forget about Natalie. Hello, Natalie. Natalie over here just being weird, staring off into the corner. See, I put the wall up so you can see. Maybe she's checking out the spider web. But in the cabin, they do have this fireplace over here, and they did have some seating right here. I tried to make it look as realistic as possible, and it is like an abandoned cabin, and it's pretty beat up, and this inside doesn't look all that great and well kept. Also, if you're familiar with the show, Akila does befriend one of the characters, which is not in this list that I have here. She befriends a mouse, and so I thought I'd give a nod to that by adding that little mouse there, which is super cute. He's a little adorable mouse. And then we go up into the attic where, they find the skeleton here, spoiler alert. And, they decide to do a little seance, another spoiler alert. So I put some candles here representing that. And there's an episode where Shauna and Thaisa come sleep up in the attic. And so I put a little nod to that also. And if I'm not mistaken, they did have a scene somewhere where they put, I want to say maybe Natalie or someone in what seemed to be something like a bathtub. So I did fit that in here. And, of course, them being Sims, they do have to stay clean. So unfortunately, I had to add that, but I tried to make it look rustic as possible. And the attic isn't this large, but that's just how I built this. And I feel like if I try to make it smaller and to fit in, it would, mess up this bottom part here. I also put this little area in here where they do have kind of like the little storage for the food, which is very scarce, as on the show. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get in here to show you guys. So I did create that. That doll is there because this is a haunted house. I did not place that doll there. Um, so yes, I thought I'd give you guys a little view of that. I do plan on coming back with some gameplay. I'm interested in getting back into The Sims. It's been a minute since I have played, and I'm a huge fan of The Sims. I've been playing for a few years now. When I started playing, fun fact, when I started playing The Sims, there wasn't the instructions that they give you when you first start out playing and telling you how to maneuver and to get them to move around and stuff. So, my very first character that I created, I chose them a house and one that they could fit in their budget. And somehow we end up at the park, and I could not figure out how to get them back to the house. So, there was no bathroom, at least that I wasn't aware of, of there being a bathroom nearby, and I didn't know how to relocate them back home. So she just ended up on the bench and using the bathroom on herself. And I got so frustrated with it that I was like, forget it, I'm not playing this game. And then I decided to give it another try and just started Googling some things. And thankfully, thanks to YouTube, there's a lot of Sims fan base and Simmers out here where I was able to learn how to do a lot of things. I did finally learn how to move them from point A to B on my own, but checking out the YouTube videos really did help me out a lot. So I was thankful for that. And I've just become even better at it. I can even do my own builds now. They may not be perfect, but I'm happy with them. And I think it's cute. I also love the seasons because you get the snow. And there is episodes in the show where it is snowing. So that checks out and works well for my gameplay. But I hope you guys enjoy this build. I can upload it to the gallery. I think I may have, but I don't know if I've uploaded the more up-to-date one. I'll check and see and leave that information in the description below if anyone is interested in uploading this. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out some upcoming videos with some of the Yellow Jackets Sims gameplay. Bye, guys.